We've got some big news coming from the world of all elite wrestling. Now, we've had a couple of things that's broke today. I'm going to hit you up with what is happening, what's going on, everyone. JMB434 here. And I know what I'm going to expect from clowns in the comment section, like a Power Ranger. No, it's winter and I bought a Manchester United goalkeeper kit shirt. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, it's been a real wild day in AEW. So we are going to start that there's three names that have been removed from AEW's roster. That started today with Malakai Black. Malakai Black is officially removed from AEW's roster. BW Insider reported this earlier today. Malakai is now a free agent. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Now, as I'm recording this, it is 5 to 8 UK time. Monday Night Raw starts in about 5 hours' time. I need to get some rest before Raw because I watch Raw, then I go to work the next day, come home, do the same for NXT. I go to sleep for NXT. Malakai is not showing up tonight. There is no way Malakai Black is showing up tonight on Raw. I would be amazed if he did. Malakai, for me, if how I'm gonna put Malakai Black, Aleister Black as I now tend to want to call him, I put Malakai on SmackDown. SmackDown is lacking firepower at this present moment. To think as well that the WWE tend to want to keep the partners, husband, wives, all together on the roster. Hence why I don't understand Tiffany Stratton's on SmackDown and Ludwig Kaiser's on Monday Night Raw. Logic. Malakai, who was released by WWE in 2021, who debuted in AEW a month later, and had that great feud with Cody Rhodes. And then what did Malakai do? Tony Khan fumbled the ball with Malakai Black. Malakai could have been world championship material like he was in NXT. Malakai was NXT champion, and he's had some great matches in NXT. I remember he had a feud with Johnny Gargano, and he was fucking demon. So I'm a big Malakai Black fan. I can see WWE all over it. So I think SmackDown, and I would put him to beat Nakamura squash to make Malakai look like a badass, and then you'd have the match between him and Shin, maybe in Amsterdam, because remember the WWE is doing a European tour for WrestleMania week, so I would not mind Malakai possibly returning to Amsterdam because they are going to Amsterdam, so I would not mind Malakai returning for that. Now, finally, this has been too long in the making. Miro. Miro has finally been released by AEW when Miro should have been released when he requested his release. And I think it was about 3-4 months ago. Miro requested his release from AEW. Nothing was granted by Tony Khan. And we just found out some news. PW Insider Mike Johnson has reported that Miro has now been released. He was, in fact, removed from the AEW roster on AEW's website. Now, Miro is an interesting one. Now, I've spoke to friend. I'm in a group chat with Max Wrestling. Yep, Max Wrestling. You need to follow the podcast. I'm on it every week. Said that Miro would fit well in Japan. Now, I think Miro will be a great fit for TNA. You think of the matches that Miro can have in TNA. Oh, hang on. Unfortunately, my computer wants to do a reset. Fuck you. Miro for me would fit like a glove in TNA. To think that TNA will need some like what's what I'm trying to think of. They need some challenges for Joe Hendry. But the match I personally would like to see is Miro against Moose. Money. Anthem would be idiots for not trying to get Miro into TNA. Do I think he'd come back to WWE after the way that he did leave WWE? I believe it was 2020 because he was involved in for what for me was the most revolting storyline I've ever seen. The one with Lana and Bobby Lashley. Please don't. I still have PTSD from how terrible Raw was back then. But now under Triple H, it's going to be interesting how Miro would be booked. And I'm still trying to get some news of what is coming through. Says from PWInsider.com said Miro is fully gone from AEW, which we know he is. It's been confirmed. Two sides fully came to agreement, which will see the former TNT champion leave the company. Tony Khan fumbled the ball with Miro. I first saw Miro when he was in NXT, came onto the main roster, was a badass, was the United States champion. It was a decent run with the title, and then he got vinced. Miro, when Rusev Day got so over, which it did, Rusev Day was some of the best work that Rusev and Miro ever did in his career. How he and Aiden English did not win the tag team titles was a joke. Was a fucking joke. How they did not win the tag team championship when they should have done on SmackDown Live. Went to AEW as the best man, I believe. He won the TNT title. But then nothing happened. Miro would be perfect in TNA. Maybe could go to Japan. Maybe to obviously because we don't know obviously the mental state of Miro. Obviously he went through that divorce with Lana, and obviously will he even trust the WWE umbrella, the system after what happened with him leaving the company? I felt Miro during that horrific run in 2019. As I said, that Raw with the wedding between Lana and Bobby Lashley, which was probably the most revolting segment I think I've ever seen watching Monday Night Raw. I remember watching it, and I can just recall just me like this. Do I have to watch this garbage? I mean, do I have to watch that shit? It was utterly embarrassing to watch. So for me, I think Miro would fit like a dream in TNA. Comes back to WWE, wherever they fit him, where they fit him in to the Intercontinental Championship, where they put him on SmackDown for the United States title, or will they go to NXT? Now, NXT is a difficult one because that men's roster in NXT is so weak. It's the weakest I've ever seen. That men's roster in NXT during Black and Gold was just probably the best men's roster you'll ever see. You had people like Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Undisputed Era. You had Keith Lee. You had Dominik Dijakovic. And there's too many to fucking name. Same with the women's roster at that time. But we don't need to talk about the NXT women's roster because that NXT women's division is incredible. The NXT men's division, I think Miro would fit well. I still think Miro would fit like a dream in TNA. Right, and now we're going to go to the last one. Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks. Absolute Ricky Starks. PW Insiders reported that Ricky Starks has also been removed from the AEW roster on the website. There's a possibility, only saying possibility, that Ricky Starks has been granted his release. Starks was last featured on television in, I think it was March of last year. He was spotted in backstage with Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble, I believe, which was last year. And then he was at WrestleMania in the Skybox when Cody defeated Roman Reigns alongside Cody's brother Dustin Rhodes. Ricky Starks is going to NXT. No brainer. And I can guarantee you this. And I don't care what all the sickos fucking tell me. You can give me abuse in the comment section. I don't give a shit. Ricky Starks is going to beat Obafemi for the NXT Championship, and Ricky Starks is going to carry the brand. He'll be the face of the brand, and Ricky Starks will probably get called up and probably have some matches against Punk, Cody, and you name it. Ricky Starks is going to be the face of NXT. Tony Khan is a petty bitch. We all know this. And people think that I'm negative towards AEW. I'm not. I'm a realist. JD from New York fucking calls as it says. Solid Monster, Chi-Town Smart. My guy, Killer Wishes, by the way. Shout Killer Wishes, by the way. Calls it as he sees it. Angos calls it as it is. Just Alex, Top Man, speaks as it is. We are Max Wrestling. We criticize AEW, but it's constructive criticism. The product lately has took a nosedive. How can you drop the ball with Ricky Starks? How? Ricky Starks, for me, I thought came of age in that promo with MJF. That segment with MJF, I went, Ricky Starks is world champion material. But what did Tony Khan do? Nothing. The last time he was in the feud was apparently he's denied creative, which is bullshit because he was on Chris Van Vliet with that fucking great interview with CVV. And it's going to be interesting. Ricky Starks is 100% NXT bound. So what does this mean for Rey Fenix? How must it feel to be Rey Fenix right now? You got Rey Fenix still locked in to his AEW contract until I believe it's October or November. When you got Penta flourishing, and Penta will be the next Intercontinental Champion who will beat Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. I know there's a lot of Sheamus fans out there, and I love Sheamus, but I think they're going to skyrocket Penta until his brother comes in. Rey Fenix, as we know, Rey Fenix is WWE bound. Around Survivor Series time, Rey Fenix and Penta will win the tag team titles at one point this year. Uncle Dave Meltzer. Oh my god, guys, you will not believe what Dave freaking Meltzer has been saying. God. If y'all knew that Dave Meltzer has got a screw loose, you will not believe what he's just said. Meltzer said that the match between Mercedes Moné and Harley Cameron, which is going to be at AEW Grand Slam, is going to feel like Sting versus Ric Flair. The guy's lost his marbles. How can you compare Harley Cameron, who's won one, let me get this right, one singles match, who beat Taya Valkyrie, and is now facing Mercedes Moné at Grand Slam, comparing it to Sting and Ric Flair. Jesus Christ, the guy's lost his mind. If you're comparing Mercedes to Ric Flair, you've got a screw loose. I don't like Flair. Personally, I don't like Flair. I think he's a fucking idiot. I respect him as a wrestler, but as a person, he's a fucking idiot. Mercedes, I love her as a wrestler. As a person, she's fucking not the nicest. Harley Cameron, one singles match and won. How can you compare that to Sting and Flair? Freaking insane. Meltzer, it's time to hang it up. You have lost your mind comparing that to Sting versus Flair when Sting won the WCW title. I'm call that match. I've actually watched it, and it was one of the great matches. I just don't. I had to do a quick pause there because unfortunately I'm still trying to dig up news about Ricky Starks. I'm also gonna just mention one final thing, and that is Miss Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace, who left TNA after a last match with Tessa Blanchard. Jordan Grace apparently took a pay cut to come to WWE, but she's going to NXT. Why? The NXT Women's Division is juiced enough as it is. You've got Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Zarya, Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Fallon Henley, and to name a few. But and Roxanne Perez, who is getting called up. Cora Jade, who's doing well in TNA right now. Why does it need Jordan Grace? When we know that main roster women's division is clearly struggling right now. I don't like the idea. I mean, I love Jordan Grace. I think Jordan Grace is fucking fantastic at what she does. Pound for pound in terms of women's wrestler, I think she's fucking great. She's up there with Mercedes and up there with Rhea Ripley. And you could even say up there with Roxanne Perez right now and Tony Storm. But I don't like it for they're going to NXT because we all know Julie's going to hold the belt for a while. Stephanie Vaquer is obviously going to win um, the Women's North American Championship this upcoming Saturday at Vengeance Day. So where else are you going to fit Jordan Grace? WWE's got to be very careful with Jordan Grace. I think they should protect her very well. They haven't really used Zarya better than I thought. Zarya should have come in, and I thought my prediction was that Zarya was going to come in to dethrone Fallon Henley. That was not the case. And I initially thought that could have been her to be dethroned Kalani Jordan initially, but I was wrong. But that's just my take. Jordan Grace should be on the main roster, and Jordan Grace I thought would have been an outsider to win the Royal Rumble, but obviously that was won by the walking android, unfortunately. Thank you very much, guys. That's everything I've got for you right now. If there is any news about the possible release of Ricky Starks, which we're hoping so, please God, I will probably come back to you if there is anything about Ricky Starks. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Unfortunately, I haven't had no time to do Raw, NXT, SmackDown. I'm very sorry. I just had no time. But I will try and get back on the horse if I can. You will see me this week, as a matter of fact. I will be on Mike Larkin's Deep in the Heart of Wrestling podcast. I believe it's either Wednesday or Thursday. You will see me on that. I will put a link on Twitter for you if you want to come watch the show. I'll give my take on a lot of shit that's going on with AEW, WWE, TNA, and New Japan. I'll speak my truth. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.